This is Battleship Missouri in World War II. You're on the same ship except the weapons are different. The small guns are gone. Okay, the 20 millimeters. Okay. 40 millimeters, they're all gone.
Okay.
5-inch guns, there's 20 of them, there's only 12 today. We added tomahawks, harpoons, and phalanx in the upgrade for Desert Storm. Radars and all were upgraded. This tower back aft and the main tower center of the ship. Up on top, that horizontal radar are the gun directors for the big guns. We're going to talk about that when we get down below.
Okay.
Engineering-wise, the ship is original to World War II. We're going to take an interior passage back aft, down to the second deck, down to the third deck. We're going to go to fire room 4, engine room 4, and the aft plot for the 16s. About an hour from now, we'll be on the port side, main deck, and the third floor.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's get going. Creation. All right.
Okay.
What we have in the Navy today is what we call these things here. They're called coffin racks. 6 feet long, 3 feet wide. They're stacked up, air-conditioned, comfortable mattress. So this is what you get in the Navy today for an electric first mattress.
All right.
Okay, we're going to head down this first ladder and take a look at the hatch. I want you to take a look at its size and the thickness of the hatch.
Okay.
Because the next one is significantly different. We're going to explain the difference between the two.
All right.
Safest to face the steps, hold the rails on the ladders coming down. Right this way, okay?
Stand forward.
Okay, first of all, sir, this hatch is significantly larger and thicker
Yes.
than the one we just came down. We're on the second deck. The second deck is the armor deck. There's 6 inches of armor on this deck from Terra 2 all the way to Terra 3. So the armor deck protects engineering down below. Boilers, engine shafts, fuel, water, ammunition. What we need to be a fighting warship is below this armor deck. The deck above us, 1.5 inch thick. It's called the bomb burster deck. Thick enough to set off the fuse on an incoming, thin enough to let it penetrate. So bomb will explode down here, sacrifice the second deck, galley, mast, propane, full stop. Armor deck should stop the bomb, protect engineering. In the event there's shrapnel from this deck and from that bomb, beneath the armor deck is a 30-inch void, which we call the splinter deck. So on the way down, it's going to be on the right, just an empty space, but any shrapnel from this deck is going to be trapped in that void. Okay?
Okay.
So it's a second chance, so to speak, to protect engineering. All right?
All right. Did you want me to close this chain up?
That is all right.
All right.
Okay. Officially, we're on the third deck passage. Unofficially, it's called Broadway. It's the longest, widest passageway on Battleship Missouri. Runs from turret 2 up forward, all the way back to turret number 3 back out. And through this space are 4 engineering spaces. Up forward is fire room 1, engine room 1, fire room 2, 2, 3, and 4. We do the tour at 4. Please keep in mind there's 3 more forward in addition to what we're going to see today. Every engineering space has an access hatch just like this. Above us is the machine shop for repairs. So we have this monorail through the space. We have a chain fall device. If we needed to get something from, say, the #1 engine room to the machine shop, we take this device and push it all the way up forward. Open a hatch like this, lower it down inside, bring up whatever it is, and push it all the way here to this door. And the upper rail is another device that's going to be dropped down right next. Transfer one to the other, take it up, bring it on the upper rail through the machine shop. Get it repaired. When it's ready to come back, bring it on the upper rail, bring it down to the lower rail, send it forward around overhead. Got a side rail. Integrates from the main rail with a little toggle. If I have a priority, or something's in the way, I want to take the secondary out. Flip the little toggle, bring this rail over to the side, park the secondary off on the side, bring the main rail back, let the priority. So priorities go first, secondaries wait on the side, later on we take that. So far, any questions about the rail, the layout?
No, I think the only question is when we get down to the door on how the rail moves. Similar situation, right? To move the rail out of the way so we can close the door.
I'll show you.
Okay.
Let's talk about electrical first,
All right.
because it's in conjunction with that. We make electricity from steam. We make the electricity from that steam in the generator in the engine room. We run on 480 volt. This is a casualty supply power cable. Red, white, and black. 1, 2, 3 rings on the end of each. A different color, different number of rings. Okay. So I'm going to show you how it works. First of all, to answer your question, in general quarters, we need to close all these doors to contain any fire, flooding, etc. It's unsafe. Where you see this black stripe, it ends right above it is a pin.
Okay.
There's another pin on the other side where it starts over again.
All right.
2 pins, 2 guys pull 2 pins, take out this section, close the door. Boom, 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 the doors get closed. So the problem now is, since we make power in the engine room, if there's a problem in the engine room and I can't make electricity, how do I get emergency power through the ship? The backup generators are all the way up forward. That's what these outlets come from. Those cables come in. So at every door there's an outlet, sometimes on both sides. Red, white, and black, color-coded. 1 notch, 2 notch, 3 notch, like the rings. Even in the dark, you know which one goes where. They're pre-wired to the outlet on the other side.
Okay.
So we can bring power through the ship, and each door, from door to door to door, with those cables, should we need the emergency power. Okay? So that's how it gets through the ship. All right?
All right.
Any questions?
Because we know that this could be a widowmaker on this side if you touch it. How do you stop that from the other side?
Okay, it is controlled. It's a step-by-step. I'm going real quick only because it's an hour or 2.
Okay.
I'm not trying to teach you the electrical system on the ship, but the electricians run it, and there's a step-by-step.
Okay.
Like any utility company would do. You see 14 guys standing at the hole and 1 guy doing something. Well, there's a check-off list.
Okay.
And there's a procedure and it's step-by-step. So it's,
All right.
coordinated. All right? Okay?
Yeah, works for me.
All right, okay. To minimize those problems, okay? All right, we're gonna go to fire room 4, which is where we make steam for engine room 4. Okay? We're going down 1 more level. About halfway down, gets a little tight. Keep your elbows in, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, just to safety first. To the right here. Okay. We are in fire room number 4. All the fire rooms look alike. There's 3 more up forward. Every fire room has 2 boilers. There's one on the port side and one on the starboard side. Identical to each other. We further break them down between saturated steam and dry steam. So we're going to boil water, we're going to make steam. We make saturated steam. It goes up to the, okay, I'll show you. This is our steam cycle on Battleship Missouri.
Okay.
We need 2 things, heat and water. Plenty of water, it's in the sea. Seawater goes to the evaporation plant. 3 plants. Percolate it up, triple distillation, purge what we don't need back to the sea. 99.9% of purity-free water. We make potable water for drinking, bathing, and cooking. Similarly, store it separate. Priority for water always goes to boilers, no electric. Okay? No electric, no weapons, no radar. So
Right.
everything else comes secondary to the steam for electricity. So that steam, the hot water, pure water goes to a feed pump. Feed pump sends it to the boiler, which is this. Light a fire, boiler tubes inside. The hot water rises hotter and hotter and hotter to the steam drum up above. It's 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturated steam, wet steam. Can't use it in the engineering side. I send it down to the superheater, so it goes up and it comes back down here. We light a secondary fire, percolate the 450 to 850. And squeeze it to 600 psi and send it to the engine. We have 2 turbo generators producing electricity from steam. High and a low pressure turbine gear reduction system drives a shaft. Makes the ship, turns the screw, makes the ship go, so electricity and energy. At the end of the steam cycle, we pull it out of the vacuum through a condenser. Steam to water, water to a deaeration tank over here. Take that perfectly good water, send it back to the feed pump, recycle it back into steam. Okay. Right? So that's the first cycle. But we never have 100%, that's impossible. So we're going to make new water from the sea, we're going to recycle the residual. That's our steam cycle. Okay?
Okay.
Now, this is a humongous round brick-lined oven all the way back. I call it a pizza oven. Most people have never seen a boiler, much less the inside, but everyone's been to a pizza place. You open the door and you see a round brick-lined oven, and they slide your pizza in there, and it cooks. We do the same thing, except we don't have any pizza, we just cook water. The hot air is going to rise, okay?
Okay.
So it's the same thing on the inside. Now, what we have to worry about is a couple of things. All right, so let me just pull this rod out of here. All right. First of all, we have water and heat. We made the water, it's coming here. The heat source comes from oil. 2.5 million gallons of fuel, Battleship Missouri. World War II Korea, we used bunker oil. Bunker C, same thing leaking from the Arizona. Okay? Thick, heavy, sludgy, had to warm it up just to burn it. Desert Storm, we changed the fuel to DFM, diesel fuel marine. Lighter, more refined. Cost more money, made less smoke. Environmental concerns were in the 80s, and rightfully so. More houses, more cars, more air conditioning, more pollution, blah, blah, blah. More people. So, the Navy did its part. We changed fuel to preserve the environment. So we had to change the fuel, and that's about the only really change we made beside some upgraded safety features. Otherwise, this is original equipment. You'd have a bucket of bunker oil sitting right there. You take this rod, tie a bunch of rags on the end, dip it into the bucket, take out the Zippo lighter, make a torch about the size of a football. 2-man, 3-second rule to light the fire. Torch guy, fuel guy. We always light number 1 first. Fuel guy gives number 1 a little fuel, torch guy shoves the rod all the way in. 1, 1002, 1003, boop. Pull the rod out, snuff out the flame. You just let the pilot light the fire room.
Okay.
Didn't boil water, lit the stove. So the first question, how long to boil enough water to get Battleship Missouri ready for underway? The answer is 10 to 12 hours. Boil a lot of water,
Yeah.
number one. Number two, we have to do it slow and even over time. The concern has to be the expansion, contraction, the heat inside the firebox. That round brick lined oven, that firebox, especially, okay, high temperature bricks, high temperature mortar, and if you do it slow and even over time, the mortar kind of just holds together and the bricks stay on. If you try to push it and rush it, the expansion and contraction and heat, the joints pull apart. The joints start pulling apart, the bricks start to come off. Pretty soon you're not going to have much of an oven. You're going to have no steam. You're going to have a big problem. Slow and even over time, 10 to 12 hours.
Okay.
If it takes that much time to get this ship ready for underway, then you do the light-off procedure the day before. So if you want steam today, you come in yesterday to light the fire. So make sure you have steam for today. And it didn't change through the course of history of these battleships, regardless of what kind of fuel we use. The science of heating fuel, expansion, contraction, heat is the same. Okay? Now, what we have, let me just put this back. 5 burner tubes, and 4 are on the superheater side. You always lit number 1 first. 2 was lit from 1, 3 was lit from 2. So in succession, they're going to get let off over time. To get it hotter and hotter and hotter, you don't see any kind of a knob for like low, medium, and high, like on a stove. We got this old-fashioned burner bar system original to the ship in 1940. About this long, on the inside there's an orifice for his fuel. More heat, you need more fuel. So you need a different orifice. Shut the burner down, undo the bar, pull it out, stick it on the bench, comes out hot. All asbestos gloves, full suit, etc. Put it over here, let it cool, clean it up, stick it back in the rack. You take the next one in size up, assuming you're going hotter. You stick it in, light goes back up, so hotter, hotter, hotter over time. The same thing over there, because that steam goes up, then it comes back down, and then we do super hot or hot. And then it goes, okay, to the engine.
All right.
Now, superheated steam, dry steam, is dangerous, silent, and invisible. You can't hear it, you can't see it, it can kill. So any kind of leak on any kind of pipe is a very serious, dangerous situation. To check for steam leaks, you need high-tech brooms, regular old brooms. You get them anywhere you go, they're cheap and plentiful. If this is the bristle, if this is the stick, you're going to check your seams all the way around, valves, etc. A little pushback is one thing, cuts the bristles off is another thing. Find your leaks, get it repaired. Don't use your hand, don't use your arm, because you got one shot. Okay? So, all right, that's how you light the fire. You're going to maintain the fire by getting it hotter and hotter and hotter. This is your fuel adjustment. This is your air register. We want to combust even inside of here, so we exhaust clear out the stacks. If we do it right, you're going to see clear heat coming out. Wavy lines, nice and clear. If I do it wrong and it's too rich, and I'm wasting fuel and I'm burning the excess off, black smoke comes out. And if I'm too lean, white smoke comes out. It's the opposite. I don't want black, I don't want white. I want heat, clear heat coming out. And if I'm combusting even, it'll vent clear. So how do they see? When the ship's active, you got 2 periscopes to 2 stacks. You can see. They also put guys on smoke watch with binoculars to watch the stacks as well. So there's eyes on all over the place. Okay. Now, periodically, this thing has to be cleaned, inspected. Chief engineer, there's a schedule. Maybe when you're coming into port, one of them's going to come down, it's going to cool down, you're going to inspect it. You're going to clean it while you're in port for X days. You open up the back, a bunch of guys get in there. You're going to scrub all those bricks pristine clean. by hand. You sweep up all the soot. That's how you get rid of it. It's like a chimney sweep, so to speak.
Yes.
But I can't check that ignition chamber. Nobody's small enough to get in there. Nobody's arm is long enough. It's 5 feet inside. But over there's a tool. It's a periscope, kind of looks about that length. You can see from the outside, inside, there's a light beam. There's a mirror that gives you a view back. You stick it in, you can see all the way in, all the way out. You can rotate it 360. You can see if it's clean or dry. And if it is, then it's safe to light. If it isn't, you got to clean that thing out. The last thing you want to do is stick the torch in here and you got unspent fuel circulating down the bottom and it goes upward.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to do all these inspections, cleaning it off, but it still takes 10, 12 hours to get the ship. And by the way, it's hot in here. It's hot now, we're not boiling water. It's going to be at least 125. Fresh air from outside comes in here. It all depends on what you got out there that comes in.
Right.
Today we have humid air and warm, not much breeze. But we find wars in places that don't have good air. Africa, okay, Philippines, a lot of places. So what you get, hot, humid air, and maybe what's coming in, that's what you get, okay? And that's your environment. There's 6 names on this list here from Desert Storm. There's 6 on the other side. Times 12 times 4 is 48 guys. But you got a chief, you got a junior officer, you got some other people running around. That's just the fire rooms, plus or minus 50. You got 4 engine rooms, plus or minus another 50. That's 100. 24/7. That's 500 guys. This division is 500 guys. 24/7, this place has to run. So it's the biggest division on the ship. And it's a difficult, dangerous, well, they're all dangerous. It's difficult, and it's hot. The environment is not the best, okay?
Yeah.
But they boil water. Any questions?
No.
Okay, we're going to go to Broadway again. We're going to talk about damage control. Then we're going to go to engine room 4 and show you how we use the steam. Okay? All right. Right this way.
You said this on the left is the tool.
Pardon me?
You said this is the tool.
Yeah, right here. Yes, sir. That's it.
So this is our side. That's.
That's what's on the inside. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a periscope. Horizontal.
Horizontal.
Okay. This is damage control station for fire room 4. Every fire room has one. Damage control is a whole division for the ship. Up forward, there's a whole room dedicated so they know where everything is. Steam, plumbing, electrical, doors, etc. It's all by mechanical. I mean, there's no automation. This is World War II ship. First thing we can do, yellow is fuel. I can shut fuel off remotely to either boiler. Shutting down fuel is one way to start a fire. Okay, no fuel, no fire. Cross-connected. Fire room 3 and 4 is cross-connected. 1 and 2 cross-connected. So I can transfer fuel back and forth. If this is down for any reason, I need fuel in 3, I can send it to 3, vice versa. So, cross-connection. Drainage. If we're taking on water, any leaks, I can pump stuff back out to the sea. I can de-water this place. And this is my fire main. Think of this as a fire hydrant, except our water comes from the sea.
Okay.
So water for the ship, for firefighting, comes from a pipe like this, from the sea, through a strainer like this, where a hose would attach to use the water. First defense against a fire is seawater. These valves control wing tanks. Port and starboard side of the ship, empty tanks. But if we took a hit and started listing to port, we're going to open the valves on the starboard side, pump seawater into those empty tanks to add ballast on the opposing side to bring the ship up.
Okay.
So counterflooding is done this way, here. And again, up and down, okay? There's an escape trunk from below. So just think about this square trunk that goes down 2 decks. And on the bulkhead is a ladder like the one behind you,
Okay.
straight up. So you're gonna enter that trunk reverse order. Senior guy goes last. Senior guy has to account for all his guys, make sure he's got everybody, so who goes first is junior. So the first guy up is junior, the last guy in is senior. So you could have 10, 12, 14, 18 guys coming up that ladder, depending on if there's any other way to get out. You can't open this unless you close the lower one. You can only have one open at a time. If you have both open, upper and lower, you've created a chimney. What's down there is coming up the chimney into the ship.
Right.
So you got to control horizontally and vertically airspace. So the last man gets in, closes the door, he says last man in, first man up can open the hatch and escape. You get here. These doors are all closed. Well, maybe you can open them and go through. Maybe it's safe, maybe it's not. Maybe it's flooded that way or there's an inferno up forward. So what are you going to do? I got this ladder to the splinter deck to use it as a tunnel, forward or aft, to kind of bypass that space and drop down further up or further back and help yourself out to freedom.
Okay.
So, not easy because it's not straight, it's baffled, and it's going to be dark. And those spaces are small.
Yeah.
So you got to be small enough to fit through there. Okay? And here. Okay. I hit this thing. Oh, didn't break anything. Okay. Every engine room has 2 boilers. I mean 2 turbines, pardon me. The high pressure turbine, a low pressure turbine. Each turbine has a shaft that goes to the reduction gear. Reduction gear is going to drive the shaft down below. It goes to the screw that makes the ship go. So this is our engine. Starboard side, 2 generators producing electricity. So everything we do here comes from the steam that we made in fire room number 4. Okay, any questions so far?
No, sir.
Alrighty, let's go. Take a closer look. So 2 boilers, each one sends steam, so 2 pipes, main steam to the high pressure turbine when the energy cycle begins. Please watch the yellow tape. Okay, and this is the layout of engineering. We're in number 4 engine room. We were in number 4 fire room. 3, 2, 1, up forward. Turret 2 up here, turret 3 back here. 4 shafts, 1, 2, 3, 4. The longest one is number 1, 340 feet long. Furthest from the stern, number 4, 179, about half the distance, closer to the stern. The other 2 are in between. Okay? Starboard side turn clockwise, port side counterclockwise. Outbound screws 18 feet, 4 blade. Inbound screws 17 feet, 5 blade. Okay? This is a 5 blade, 17 foot screw battleship Missouri. 1985. We're in dry dock, 84 and 85. Recommissioned in 86. They took it off, cleaned it all up. X months later, they put it back. Looked just like it. So that's what it looks like. Compared to the guy that's standing there. Okay. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the throttle runs the engineering space in each engine room from this throttle board. He gets orders from the bridge on this thing called an order engine telegraph. Let's assume they order standard speed ahead. He's going to acknowledge back, ding, ding, ding. Crank this thing back just like that. It's going to repeat on the bridge. Chief Engineer's office. Okay, port and starboard side. Number 4, fire room. The people that need to know that he received the order, understood the order, relayed the information back, communication is taken. The speed of the ship is going to be counted by RPMs on the shaft here. Well, they're not really counted, they're ordered here, pardon me. So we talk about speed. So many knots, so many miles per hour. That's so we can convert it in our minds to what we do on the highway, 40 miles an hour, 33 knots, top speed. But we don't really, there's no speedometer, so to speak, on this engine room.
Right.
It's a tachometer, so to speak. So they're going to order RPMs on the shaft. 999 is not a shaft speed indication. It's a code, which means hands off, stand by. For example, an undersea fuel replenishment. A big oiler, like the one across the harbor, is going to come out to this big ship in the open ocean and refuel us over X hours. 2 big ships, got to keep perfectly parallel, maybe 14, 15 knots, open ocean, high seas. It's a challenging job. We can't see what's going on up there. So for us, it's hands off, stand by. It means somebody else up above is going to, with better eyes, is going to take care of that for us in our place. So there's different places, and they're going to send them orders, right? When the operation is secure, they go their separate ways. They're going to ring in what they want down here. Let's just say it's 120. That might be more or less cruising speed. We don't just jump out there and do 120. Just like a car, you go first, second, third, here, etc. But that's what our orders are. We're going to go forward. We turn the big green wheel clockwise. The more you turn it, the more valves open. The more valves open, the more steam. High pressure turbine, low pressure turbine, reduction gear, shaft, screw. Ship starts moving. Ship starts moving, this thing turns.
Okay.
That white needle moves like a speedometer. And it gets around to 120. And you're going to hold that unless you're ordered higher or lower to change it. So that's how he powers the ship, in the sense of he gives it the right amount of steam to turn the shaft at the orders from the bridge. Watch your temperature, watch your pressures. This is what his job is.
Okay.
He's not alone. There's a couple of dozen guys in here. Machinist mates make stuff, fix stuff. We make compressed air right here. You went to the other tour, they showed you firing the guns. Compressed air came out after they fired the gun, white smoke. There's a reservoir someplace down inside the turret. At some point it has to be replenished, the compressed air. Well, somebody has to make it. So here we are, one of the engine rooms are going to make compressed air. So this is just something you do to operate the ship.
Right.
You're changing valves and the leaky things and this and that. It's a machinist made dream down here. And you got electricians over on the starboard side making electricity. So there's a lot of activity. Dirty, noisy, hot. Same pressure, steam, same danger. That's what this guy's operating on. He's got to concentrate on what he's doing, but all this stuff is happening. Okay? So far, any questions?
No.
Okay, let's go take a look at the 2 turbines. I'll go this way. Now, high pressure turbine is smaller. Steam is compressed and compact. This can turn it up to 5,000 RPM. Okay, and as it starts to turn, 2 things happen. Okay? The shaft that comes out of this turbine that goes to the reduction gear, well, that's going to turn. And it goes into this reduction gear and starts that operation. The steam gets crossed over as it's used, exhausted, so to speak, to the low pressure turbine. We can tell it's expanding and weakening, but I want to use all the steam that's left over before it dissipates to turn the low pressure turbine. Larger, more fins, turn slower, with the shaft that's going to come out of it. 2 shafts from 2 turbines at 2 different speeds goes to the reduction gear. It's synced together, drives the shaft that's inside of this housing. From here, it's 179 feet to the screw we saw in the photo.
Okay.
But number 1 is 430 think it was 30, from number 1 all the way back. So, difference is length. Port and starboard are opposite each other, but the function is the same. High pressure, low pressure reduction gear drives the shaft, turns the screw, ship goes. Underneath the low pressure turbine, is a condenser. The leftover steam is sucked out in the vacuum. Steam goes back to water. Water goes to the deaeration tank in the engine room and is processed back into steam. So boil water, make steam, turn the turbine, drive a shaft, and recycle the leftover. And keep making new water from the sea in the evaporation plant. That's how we make this ship go. Okay? All it takes is 2.5 million gallons of fuel. Okay. All right?
All right.
Any questions?
No?
Okay. Let's go talk about electricity.
All right.
So, we have 2 turbo generators in each engine room. Just watch your footing, please. Each turbo generator gets the same steam. Each turbo generator makes 1,250 kW. Times 2 times 4. 10 megs. Battleship Missouri makes 10 megs every 24 hours. And it needs 10 megs to operate under optimal conditions, combat conditions. We want to operate all the radars to be able to find targets, and all the guns. Those big guns, I can't elevate those guns without electricity. I can't traverse the turret without electricity. It can't become a warship without electricity. I become a target. So I need the electricity to operate weapons and radar. Everything else comes secondary. Okay, food, okay, heating, cooling, bathing, everything comes secondary. You can, cold water's fine, okay. But you need the electricity to create energy, to operate the guns and operate the radar, okay? And it comes from the steam, which comes from these 2 generators. Okay. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we're going back up.
Okay.
We're going to go to the plot room for the 16-inch guns. Tell you how we work those.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Okay, this is aft main battery plot. Aft is in the back. Main is the main gun, 16-inch guns. There's also a forward, 2 rooms just like this to fire the 16s. They're in the center line, middle of the ship. Either computer can operate all 3 turrets, or we can make 1 and 2 separate from 3. It's very flexible. This room is the aft secondary. 5-inch guns on the side of the ship. It's the aft plot. There's a forward plot just like it. 1 computer handles the starboard guns. The other computer, the port side guns, they don't communicate. Only this way, starboard side, port side, so 2 computers forward aft. Okay. Different gun directors send information to different computers to fire different weapons at a different time. So let's go back to the gun directors for the 16s on top of the ship. They're going to be activated, so to speak, through these switches right behind you. They're called barrel switches or rotary switches. Kind of think of the old telephone system. And I don't mean dial versus push button versus whatever we got in our pocket. I'm talking about when the operator actually connected the call. Okay? It's kind of what they're doing. 20s technology, built in the 30s, used in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Still here. Okay? So, gun directors wired electrical connection through these switches to the computer. So there's a sailor at each bank communicating to guys up in the gun directors passing training elevation information on the guns to be accurate to the computer, to the target. We're going to add more information at the computer.
Okay.
Navigational information, course and speed of the ship, etc. Weather information. We're firing 23 miles from sea to shore. Weather could be different between those 23 miles, between those points. So we need the weather information to put into the program so that the round is going to compensate for that trajectory to be accurate. The logic of the computer, horizon to target. Ship is rarely at the horizon, it moves in the water. This information goes to this thing for the Mark 41 level plus level. It does two things. It fires the guns, but it compensates as well for the three motions of the ship at sea. Because there's a gyroscope in some of this part. As the ship moves in the water, the gyroscope is going to know when it's level to the horizon, as well as the turret. So in the other video, I'm sure you saw it, round comes up, it's laid horizontal, hydraulically rammed into the gun, 3 bags of powder on the top tier, 3 on the lower tier, 6 bags come up, out turn onto the spanning tree, rammed behind the 6 bags rammed behind the round, close the breech, he throws the switch, you're ready to fire. Well, in turret 1, this would light up, turret 2 or turret 3 would light up. When this information comes across, it says plot ready. So, the firing solution's figured out, the gun is loaded, ready to be fired. The operator knows it's ready to go. He can't fire without an order from the officer standing here, who follows a written firing plan. Why a written firing plan? There's thousands of ships in World War II. If I asked 50 captains on 50 different ships to name 50 targets, I might get 6 from this guy and 12 from this guy and 4 from that guy, whatever. And 42 we don't even think about, so we miss it. But command gathers everything together, the big picture, and you decide what weapon from what ship against what target, and they tell you what to do through orders. It might be teletype, Morse code, whatever it is, and some guy picks up in the radio room, types out the message, rips off a piece of paper, the runner comes down here and hands it to them. Sir, here's your orders. Okay, something, it might be like that.
Right.
Well, later days you may get it printed out here in Desert Storm, not in World War II. But nothing changed beside this maybe. Now he's got orders, he tells this guy what to do. First thing you do is sound this alarm. It's a big horn that goes off. And it means clear the deck, drop what you're doing, get to your battle station. We're going to war, we're going to fire those big guns. And those turrets are going to turn broadside, port or starboard. When they fired the 9 guns, 54 bags of powder went off, there was a humongous explosion. Air goes out, the air comes back. The problem going out is not a problem, it's the air coming back that's a problem. If you're not where you should be, you're going to be in the ocean probably.
Right.
Maybe we'll get you, and maybe we won't, and maybe we won't have time for a while. But if you're at your battle station, you're safe, relatively speaking, and you're going to be where we need you to be because we need everybody at every battle station. That's why we have them.
Right.
So, drop what you do and get to your battle station, we're going to war. That's what this thing is. These are the 2 firing keys, automatic and manual. I don't think we ever fired manual. I don't think. I think manual is, if you're ship to ship and you're close enough to see the target is one thing. We're ship to shore 23 miles, we can't see the target. So I think we're using automatic. Ship to ship ended Leyte Gulf, Philippines, September, October 44. We didn't see combat to February 45 Iwo Jima, 6 months later. I doubt that we fired ship to ship. I'm thinking we probably didn't use this one. Probably. More often use this. So let's assume that for now.
Okay.
Let's just say we're going to fire automatic. What does it mean? It means when you fire this, pull this firing key, you didn't really fire, you fired the gun, but it really didn't fire. The round is still in the turret. It's waiting, we call it automatic, because it'll automatically figure it out, okay? That's how it was done World War II Korean Desert Storm. These are similar, but again, different guns, different target, different range, okay?
Right.
All right? We have a demo if you want to fire, okay? So the instructions are, you pull this firing key.
Okay.
When the TV goes dark, just let go. That'll be the delay, and it'll fire in about 2 seconds.
So it'll tell me when to hit, or I just do it?
You do it whenever you're ready, and then when it goes dark, let go.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Alrighty. So I'm pulling.
Pulling. Let go.
Okay.
Perfect. So the demo is set 3-3-3. 9 guns. Sorry, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
The white smoke is the compressed air.
Right.
They all come back to loading position automatically. They drop down to 5-degree elevation. In the meantime, the next round is already coming up and being rammed into that gun.
Okay.
Okay? So every 30 seconds, or whenever they tell you, you can fire again, but every 30 seconds, so 2 rounds per minute per gun, maximum firepower.
That's pretty cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
Any questions about fire room, engine room, plot room, any questions?
No?
Okay.
And that's identical to this, because it's a secondary.
Except it's a 5-inch gun, has a range of 9 miles surface, 5 miles aircraft.
Okay.
The aircraft is harder because A, it's moving, and B, it's 3-dimensional. I mean, ship is on the same surface, the earth, the water.
Right.
The plane is up in the air, so it's 3rd dimension. It's more compensation, math involved.
Okay.
But, yeah, 9
The
miles, 5 miles.
basics the same.
You know, you're going to get radar, switches, computer, level, cross level, firing keys, blah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Okay? Now, the rate of fire is a little bit different, okay?
Right.
These are 2 rounds per minute per gun. This is every 4 seconds.
Wow.
15 rounds per minute. Okay?
Yeah.
15 rounds per minute. We had 10 of those times 2 guns. Just think about it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay? That's 20 guns every 4 seconds. Okay? It's just, it's like the movie. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Just every 30 seconds. That's a lot. But every 4 seconds. 15 rounds per minute is every 4 seconds. Think about it.
Yeah.
Those guys are working hard. And they're passing 34-pound rounds up every 15 seconds. I mean, there's an assembly line, but still, the worker bees are working.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just telling you, there's no easy jobs on battleships. I mean, painting, chipping, decks, ammunition, steam, they're all hard.
Yeah.
Galley, those cooks, in World War II, 10,000 meals a day. Just think about it.
Yeah.
The provisions they had to make and store. It's incredible what these guys did in World War II. I mean, no offense to today's guys, it's missiles, but we just need less guys, a whole lot less guys.
Yeah.
So there's not as many guys for the work. There's a lot of work with less guys, so maybe it's harder. I don't know. I've never really thought about it, but it's easier in one sense, but harder in another sense because there's less people to share the work. I mean, but it's a smaller ship, so maybe it balances. I don't know. Okay, any questions at all?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm going to grab this, and we're going to head up. And, well, I'm on time. I got 4 minutes to get up there.